Good day, everybody, and what's up? Welcome to the podcast for Selfless Sex and She Comes First. I am Dr. Nick Meyer, sitting here on October 6, 2019, the first Sunday in October. There seems to be a nice little crisp thing going on in the air. I do appreciate that. And at the same time, saying that I appreciate that, I want to thank everyone for following me following this podcast and supporting it the way you do. Last month was incredible. Just thank you for following me on whatever social media you are using, be it iTunes Podcasts, Player FM, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Radio, or even on Facebook. I thank you guys for sharing these podcasts around with your friends and coworkers or whoever else and colleagues, and also hitting that like button and just kind of making this thing get more out there. So I really do appreciate that. So today I want to talk about something completely different, but I still think it can be as important as one's sexual health. And I want to talk about something called emotional safety. And I really think it is important as having a fun sexual relationship with your partner. But first, what is emotional safety? So let's get into that today. Well, according to an article that I'm going to cite found in Psychology Today, the author goes on to say that empathy is at the heart of emotional safety. He says empathy helps to create emotional safety by affirming that our struggles are okay, not necessarily right or wrong, but okay. This helps us to let down our negative judgment and barriers. So therefore, when you feel free to express your emotional needs, you feel emotionally safe. So, and at the same time, while your partner is not judging you because of your emotional needs, or they are also not being critical of your emotional needs, and at the same time you being true to yourself, you feel emotionally safe. Here is a quick example that you may be able to relate to. Let's say that you and your partner are sitting around doing nothing, and for whatever reason, your partner says something that you define as stupid. It's just a stupid statement, whatever. And if you are in a emotionally safe relationship, your thought process is something like, man, go ahead about your business, kick rocks, go ahead, do something else. It's no big deal. Water off a duck's back, that's it. Now, in contrast, if you're not in an emotionally safe relationship, your thought may be something like, well, what did he or she mean by that? Or if you want to take it to the next level, your thought process may be something like, what did that motherfucker mean by that? You see the difference there? And the sad part is we may go back and forth between feeling safe and unsafe on an hourly basis. This is where it's my opinion that it's kind of tough for your relationship to move forward if you're in a situation like that where you're constantly going back and forth across the line, because that impedes the growth of your relationship. Therefore, Dr. Jeffrey Bernstein and the same Psychology Today article came up with 3 ways to gain a sense of emotional safety with your partner. And the first one is this. He suggests that you identify and challenge toxic thoughts towards your partner. And some examples of toxic thoughts could be the blame game, like everything is always their fault, or giving them negative labels, like you call your partner lazy. And number 3, you could say something like an overactive imagination, meaning, for example, if they're working late, they're having an affair, which is probably not true. So by identifying these toxic thoughts, it gives you the chance to look in the mirror and see what you are doing and how your thoughts, actions, and attitudes towards your partner can have a negative impact on your relationship. Number 2, he says, be consistent and in your personality and in your word. And by personality, he means by being, or a question, are you being moody on purpose? Are you trying to start a fight on purpose to get attention or something else? Because therefore, you're actually sabotaging your relationship. And in your word, I'm talking about building trust here. Because one of the worst things you can do is overpromise and underdeliver. Meaning that if you say that you're going to do something and you don't do it, and it happens over and over again, that's really tough to build trust. And it kind of turns into broken promises. So, in other words, if you're going to do something, just do it. If you can't do it, just let your partner know so you can figure something else out. But don't leave your partner hanging like that. That's never a good thing. That is not a good way to build trust. And number 3, demonstrate commitment. One of the worst things you can do, but it happens far too often, is that people trash talk their partners to their friends and family. And that's never a good thing to do, because you just gave your family and your friends ammunition to use against your partner whenever they decide. And that's really going to hurt. So it's just easier to be supportive and hopefully, and also be faithful. And hopefully in the end, your relationship will end up in a much better place. So in closing, I just have to ask the question to everyone out there, is that for those of you who are in relationships, do you feel emotionally safe with your partner? And you may not want to answer that question out loud, especially if they are sitting next to you. But if you feel that they are, let them know. That's not a bad thing. But for people, I can't say those of us, but for people who are in relationships where they are questioning, that could be a big concern. Because it seems like, just for what I'm hearing, it seems that a lot of people they could be married, but the relationship is very superficial, because they didn't, for whatever reason, they never let their guard down and open themselves up enough to their partner so they can get to those deeper levels of intimacy, because their partner was giving something off that didn't make them feel safe and secure with telling them information, or just letting their guard down, period. You see what I'm saying? So I think that for some reason, this is just my gut. I have no data in front of me, but I just wonder how many people out there are in this situation. And I'm pretty sure it's not a happy situation. So on that note, I'm out. You guys have a great day. Thank you for listening. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.